Buckle up, because you're about to virtually whip through the spectacular Dolomites with me on an epic road trip in the Italian Alps. Welcome to the Traveler VR, the virtual reality channel that takes you to the most beautiful places in the world from the comfort of your couch. Unlike a real road trip, no one's going to get carsick. We started in Val Gardena in South Tyrol, a ridiculously scenic valley, famous for its skiing in winter, and, as you can see here, it's make you want to quit your job and become a shepherd vibes in the warmer months. Fun fact, these mountains weren't always called the Dolomites. For ages, indigenous Latin people called them the Pale Mountains. Then along comes this French geologist in the late 1700s, Deodat de Dolomieu. He figures out the rock here is a special kind of limestone, and bam, they just named the mountains after him, all of them. It's also just fun to say, Dolomite. If you like visiting amazing places all over the world in VR, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Traveler VR. I travel to interesting destinations, so you don't have to. I mean, I know you probably want to, but you probably have kids and job or whatever, so I get it. We're heading towards Passo Pordoi. Now, Passo just means pass in Italian. Sometimes just adding an O to the English word really does work in Italian. Event, evento. Document, documento. I love this language. This particular pass, Pordoi, is sitting at a cool 2,239 meters. That's over 7,300 feet. Driving these roads is an experience. You'll notice all the switchbacks. Italians call them tornanti. I call them opportunities to see if your lunch is going to make a reappearance. Pro tip for anyone actually driving here, watch out for the cyclists and learn how to drive stick before you leave America. Passo Pordoi isn't just a pretty face though. It's got history. During World War I, this whole area was a brutal front line between the Italians and the Austro-Hungarians. They literally built trenches and fortifications into the mountains. Also, for you cycling fans out there, Passo Pordoi is legendary in the Giro d'Italia. Cyclists come here to basically punish their thighs into oblivion. Look at those peaks. That's the Sella Group. It looks like a giant rocky crown, or maybe a fortress built by giants who are really into brutalist architecture. Geologically speaking, these mountains are ancient coral reefs. 250 million years ago, this whole area was a tropical sea. Okay, quick detour. Because if you're in the Dolomites and you don't see Val de Funes, did you even Dolomite, bro? This valley is so picturesque, it's almost too much. I highly recommend the Adolf Munkel Trail for you hikers out there. The Geisler Peaks on your left, are almost too perfect. I suspect the sheep were strategically placed. We've teleported now on the stretch of highway from Bolzano down to Trento. This is less precarious mountain built path, a more actual functioning highway, which is nice for a change. Bolzano, or Bozen if you're feeling German, the bilingual kind of place, very continental, is the capital of South Tyrol. It's got this cool Austrian meets Italian vibe. Think Lederhosen, the Vespas, coexisting in perfect harmony. It's also home to Otzi, the Iceman. You know, a 5,300-year-old dude they found frozen in a glacier. He's just chilling, literally, in a museum in Bolzano. Cruise south towards Trento. You'll notice the landscape changing a bit. Still gorgeous because Italy doesn't really do ugly. But the valleys widen and you start seeing more vineyards and orchards. This region, Trentino Alto Adige, is big on its wines and apples. So if you're into crisp white wines or an apple that hasn't spent 3 months in a shipping container, this is your promised land. Travel tip for this stretch: if you're doing this drive for real, there are some amazing castles perched on the hillsides. Castle Roncola, Runkelstein Castle, near Bolzano, is famous for its medieval frescoes depicting secular scenes. It was pretty racy for its time. Knights playing board games, lovers courting, basically medieval Instagram stories, painted on a wall. Trento is another gem. It's got Roman roots, a stunning cathedral, and is famous for hosting the Council of Trent back in the 16th century. You remember the Council of Trent? It was this massive, super important Catholic Church meeting. It went on for like 18 years. And that, my virtual voyagers, is our whirlwind trip through a slice of the Dolomites. From the jaw-dropping peaks that used to be a coral reef to valleys so perfect they look like they were created by AI. What did we learn? Well, geologists have serious naming rights, and driving the mountains is 90% breathtaking views and 10% wondering if your brakes are up to the task. Thanks for joining me on the Traveler VR. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like seeing amazing places. Till next time, keep exploring.